Okay, my name is Shweta. I am from Ahmedabad, but since 12 years I'm here. Before I was working in a forex bureau, but now I'm a housewife. But right now, I am just student as INIFD Institute in Ahmedabad as an interior designer.
Thank you, Shweta. Keith?
Welcome, ma'am.
Keith, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please introduce yourself, Keith.
My name is Keith Emmanuel Nsumba, and I'm just a student trying to learn IT, and yeah.
Okay, you are interested in interior designing or 3D designing, Keith?
I'm interested in designing 3D. I mean 3D, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Keith. Mr. Kenneth?
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kenneth Nsumba. I'm also a student trying to learn IT. I'm into 3D models. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Kenneth. May I know you are working somewhere, Mr. Kenneth? Or you are still a student?
I'm just a student.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Good afternoon, Sylvia. How are you? Can you hear me?
I think she has no mic. I'm not sure.
Yes. Hi, Sylvia. Can you hear me? Okay, Mansoor, I am handing over to you. Please start communication, and then I will talk to all of you after this SketchUp class. I hope this is okay for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Mansoor, please go on.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
We can.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'm kind of expecting a little bit more people to join. So I think let's give them more, only 3 minutes, then we get started.
Okay.
Okay, let's get started with the webinar. Other people will join us later on. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sendo Mansour, and I'm a trainer at CAD Center. Yeah, I have a background in construction, and I have a bachelor's degree in construction management. Yeah, I'm also an IT specialist and a software developer. Yeah, so today's webinar is about SketchUp. That is a software that is used in developing 3D models, not only for buildings, but for any other creation that we need to put across. Yeah, so today we're going to look at what SketchUp is, then what can you do with SketchUp, the examples of what SketchUp can produce or what it has already produced, like what are the different creators, what have they been able to use SketchUp for. Then if you're interested in using one, how do you get SketchUp? Then we shall also look at the other alternative to SketchUp, like instead of using SketchUp, which other software can you use for 3D models, for creating 3D models? Then we shall also look at the extensions that work with Sketchup Pro. Yeah, then after that, we shall do a simple practical demonstration. Then we shall receive the questions, and from the audience, then you receive the answers. Yeah, so yeah, we're starting with what SketchUp Pro is. Yeah, so you can ignore the word Pro, and the name of the software is called SketchUp. Yes, so SketchUp is a 3D modeling computer program for drawing applications such as architectural, interior designing, landscape architecture, civil. You can use it for mechanical drawings. It can be used to do models that are being used in films, video game design. A lot of things that involve 3D can be created with SketchUp. Yeah, so SketchUp is a software that is developed or being sold out by Google. So Google is the producer of SketchUp. So if you see a very big company behind the software, I know that it is there to exist. At least you can trust it. So learning SketchUp is worth it, because you know that the skills will not expire, and even the same skills you learn in SketchUp can be applied to even other similar software. Yeah. So now what can you do with SketchUp? Yeah, so it's not only that you can do 3D models or designs only, you can do 2-dimensional drawings too. Yeah, so SketchUp can do both. It can do 2D, that is the 2-dimensional, then it can also do 3D. Yeah, but when it comes to 3D, there is what they call modeling and rendering. So SketchUp can do both. It can do 3D modeling, then it can also do 3D rendering using a provided extension. So we're going to look at the mostly commonly used extensions there too, but we shall just use one. Yes, Kenneth. Okay, you can pass us so that we may get questions at the end.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but I had a question. What does rendering mean?
We're going to look at that. We're going
Okay.
to look at that. Yeah.
Okay.
We shall receive the questions after the practical demonstrations. You can note down the questions.
Okay.
All right. Okay, thank you. So SketchUp can do 3D modeling and 3D rendering. What's the difference? Then it can do product designs. By product designs, we mean that maybe you want to create a phone, but you want to first visualize how it's going to look like, or you're going to produce a certain color onto that phone. So you can use SketchUp and you do a model of that phone, a 3D model of that phone, before you manufacture it out, so that you can easily see how it's going to look like at the end. So that's how you can use SketchUp to do product designs, not only phones, but anything. Even if you're going to, maybe you manufacture seats, maybe you manufacture medicines, maybe shoes, anything, any product design, SketchUp can do it. It just depends on the level of skill that you have with SketchUp. Yeah, then, and very many other things. Now, you'll be asking the difference between SketchUp and SketchUp Pro, but SketchUp is available. We're going to see the different versions in which it's available. Then the Pro one is the one which you just buy. Yeah, so that was just a spoiler alert in case it is confusing you to see SketchUp and SketchUp Pro. It is the same, just the Pro has more features. Okay, so now we're going to see what is the difference between 3D model and the render. Now, a 3D model is a 3-dimensional representation of an object. For example, a house. If you're presenting a house in X, Y, and Z, then that is a 3D model of that house. Yeah, that is a 3D model. Now, what is 3D rendering? Now, in the software, you can do the 3D model, but as you share it to a non-technical person, or as you share it to another person who is not interested in detailing or looking in details of the 3D, and you just want to look at how it looks like, that's when you do a render. And what is the render? The render is you converting the 3D into a 2D image that can be shared with another person. As we can see on the screen, we have that is a 3D model of a certain building. Yeah, but this is a photo, so it's in 2 dimensions. Though for you, when you look at it, you see that it is 3D, but I cannot manipulate it in 3D because it was converted from a 3D model into a photo. Yeah, so here, when I click on it, it's just a photo, and the photo is 2 dimensions. So the process of converting a 3-dimension drawing into a photo, a 2D photo, so that you can share it with another person. Maybe you are designing for the client. You don't want to share a 3D model with a client. You only want to share a photo, the 3D model, maybe from different angles and different perspectives. So it can be hard to differentiate, but a 3D render is a photo, then a 3D model is now the 3-dimensional representative of an object, and mostly opened in the software that can understand 3 dimensions. So that is the difference. That's why here I didn't put a 3D model, like I didn't put 3D model, then 3D render. Why? Because even if I would put a 3D model, it would be a photo, so it would be a render unless I've taken a screenshot. Yeah, so that is the difference. Now we can move on. Yeah, so now we're looking at what can SketchUp produce. These are some of the examples. Yeah, this webinar is mostly going to concentrate on the architectural drawings, but SketchUp can also do mechanical, electrical, any kind of product design, though the webinar is more into the architectural side of it. Yeah, so now we're looking at the first example. Yeah, so on the left, we are seeing when you are done with the rendering. Then on the right, we're seeing before rendering. Yeah, so on the right, where you see before render, that is a 3D model of a house. And that's how it's going to look like in the software. It may not look so much impressive, yeah, compared to when you are done with the rendering. So you can see that before you render, it kind of looks like sketchy a bit, but when you use certain extensions to carry out the rendering, then that's when it becomes more impressive. Yeah, you can see on the left, you can compare that too. But SketchUp does both. It does for you this 3D mode on the side that has before render. Then you can go on to render and you get this impressive image on the left. So this is the one that you share with the client. You can see that for it is looking more realistic and even more. So another example is this. We have before you render, you can see how the house is looking like. Then after rendering, now this is how the final drawing is looking like. Yeah, so that is like the difference between the 3D model and the 3D rendering, or the 3D render. On the side, you can see that it's more impressive. It is a photo. Yeah. Then also we have another example that is before you render and after rendering. Yeah, I've told you SketchUp does both. It does the 3D model, then you go through the rendering process and you produce something more impressive, as you could see on the right side. Okay, so now we're going to, how do you get SketchUp? So there are different products or like versions of SketchUp. One, there's a free version, and the free version is only accessible into a web browser. Yeah, so all you need to do is visit the website for SketchuP Pro, sign up, or sign up if you, in case you don't have an account, or sign in. Then after doing so, you can just start using SketchUp from there. You see that start using SketchUp. Then you can start using it from a web browser like Google Chrome, Edge, Safari, any browser. Yeah, so that one you don't need to pay, but it has limited features. Yeah, but they are enough for a beginner, or like they are enough for learning. So you don't need to spend a lot of money on the software that you're not commercially using. Yeah, so that is the free model. That is the free version, and is only, you can see that is web only. It is only available on the web. Yeah. Then we have the SketchUp Shop. Yeah, the SketchUp Shop. Now that one you all know, you also use it on the web, but this one comes with more features. You can see the features are here. Everything in the free version. Then there is unlimited access to pre-built 3D models. We're going to see what those ones are. Then augmented reality mobile viewer. We have they give you unlimited cloud storage. Yeah, but they charge $119 US per year. So that is SketchUp Shop. Then there is another one called Sketchup Pro. Yeah, so this is the one that is being used by professionals. But when it is for personal use, not in an organization. Yeah, you can see that the first package is having personal, as you could see from here. Yeah, so that one is sold at closer to $300 US per year. It is used to create professional work. So you can see that you have very many features. Everything you find in the Shop Plus, then you find in the Shop SketchUp. Then they add you to the design documentation, quick insights for design research, experience reality, etc. viewing. So that is being used by professionals. So in case you just learn in SketchUp, the free version is enough for you. You just have to visit the website. Then after visiting the website, sign up and you start using the SketchUp from there. Now there is one that is being used by like professionals, that is like in an organization, a very big organization that does designing. Yeah. Also, there is a model that is only used in the web, but it has more features than compared to that one of the person. Yeah. So you could see the features are listed down, but it is more pricey. Then there's also what they call Sketchup Studio. So for Sketchup Studio, you get what you can install on the computer. Then also you can use the cloud. Yeah, like for storage or for running the software, there's collaboration. Like you get a lot and more to it. Yeah, so you can see that SketchUp is makes it easier for people to learn by using the free version. Now, once you get to know that this is what I'm going to be starting using in my work, then you can upgrade to like SketchUp Shop. Then in case you see that you need more features, you can upgrade to SketchUp Pro. And then if in case you feel like now a very big organization and using SketchUp extensively, now that's when I would recommend you to go for SketchUp Studio, because it's more expensive. You don't have to spend a lot of money on the software that maybe you're not earning from it. Yeah. Then in order for SketchUp to do the rendering, like we say, the rendering is converting the 3D model into a 2D photo, but when that 2D photo is a representation of this 3D model, but more impressive. Yeah, there are different extensions that are being used. One of them is called Corona, and then another one is called V-Ray. Yeah, so it's not that which one is better, no. It depends on like what you're modeling, then also like the way you master extension. Yeah, so the most common used extension is called V-Ray, and it is the one we're going to try to demonstrate with. Yeah, we're just going to do a demonstration. We cannot cover each and everything here, like in the webinar. In case you're interested in more details and learning everything, that's when you enroll into the course. But I'm going to show you how V-Ray can be used to produce good, impressive renders. Yeah, so we're going to be using V-Ray. There are more and more other extensions, but These two are the most common used one, then we'll be using period. So now, there are other software that do the same thing like what SketchUp is doing. Yes, they are there. And it just depends on your choice and what you're doing. Some of them I've put most of them here, but not all of them. We have one which is called Blender. So Blender is used to produce any 3D model, not only for architectural or for mechanical, for anything you need. Just the difference is that for Blender is totally free. It is freely available, but it may come with the expense of the learning curve. It's kind of hard. It's not that you can't learn, but it is kind of tough to learn compared to SketchUp. Yeah, but it's being used everywhere, even in movies, in creating very many things. Blender is being used there. Yeah. Then we have Lumion. So Lumion is used also to create the same things and mostly in the architectural. So for it, it's mostly bending towards architectural drawings, and that is Lumion. The only problem, not a problem, but the only expense that comes with Lumion is that it is so computer intensive. It needs a very, very strong computer, like those gaming, either laptops or desktops. So in case your computer is not that strong, it may not be able to handle Lumion. Yeah. Actually, most of them require kind of a good laptop, let's say a good laptop, in order for you to run this, because the process of rendering involves a lot of computation calculation. So the computer is not strong enough, it may not handle this. Yeah, then we have Atlantis, Twinmotion. Now, some of them, people may have heard about them. Yes, Keith, you have a question that can't wait?
Does Blender require a very hard, strong computer?
Not so much. You can use it with a kind of a computer, like maybe i5, third generation, like that. Just that the more extensions you add to it, the more it becomes heavy.
Okay, thanks.
Then on the right, we have those ones that can also do architectural, but they are mostly used in the movie industry to create those 3D renders that you see in movies. We have Cinema 4D, then 3ds Max, and Autodesk Maya. Yeah, at CAD Center, you can enroll onto SketchUp, and also you can enroll onto 3ds Max. These other ones are not yet covered, not yet offered. Yeah, but these are other alternatives that you can use other than SketchUp. But the only advantage that SketchUp has over this is that it's easy to learn, it's easy to dive into, it's easy to learn than these other ones, and also it doesn't require a lot of computation power, unless you're running a very, very heavy project. But in case your project is not that heavy, it can run on any computer. Okay, maybe on a dual core it may slow down, but most of the computers can handle it. Yeah, so right now we're going into a practical demonstration of what SketchUp can do, or how do you get started with it and what it has produced. Yeah, I'm repeating, it's not that I'm going to cover everything. I'm just going to first give you a few things that require, then I show you what SketchUp has already produced, since we have a very limited time. Yeah, maybe you have any question about the presentation, like from what I've presented before we go into a practical session? Anyone with a question? Okay. If there is no question, if you have a question, you can always send it in the chat. Yeah. if there is no question, we can continue with our practical demonstration. So I've opened SketchUp. It's already installed on my computer. Here you can see the icon down here. That is its logo. Yeah, this. Then you can either click on that in case you pinned it, or you can search for it. It is called SketchUp. I have version 2019. Yeah, there are recent versions, but I'm using 2019 due to certain reasons that the new versions tend to have problems and they tend to crash. So I'm using 2019 model. So the first time you open it, not like the very first time, but every time you open it, it will give you this interface. And it has what they call templates. So when we're creating something, any drawing that we need to do in SketchUp, it starts with what they call a template. So it's not that it comes with already something in there, but there are certain settings that are done already for you. Now, when you go through, there is architectural, there is urban planning, there's architectural, then 3D printing, plan view, then simple. But then the recent files. So these are recent files that I've worked on. Now, where you have to begin about is the units here. So if it has architectural and meter, it means that it's going to open for you a 3D like space where you have X, Y, and Z. Then the units will be in meters. Yeah. Then urban planning, it will open for you according to urban planners. They have more dimensions compared to those of architecture. So, but the units will be taken in meters. Then it can also open architectural, but in millimeters. Yeah, they can also do 3D printing, but now this one within inches. Now, if you're going to create a 2-dimension, you need to start with a plan view template. So for me, I'm going to start with the architectural, and let me just go with meters. Yes, so yeah, we have SketchUp. Oh, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
So the template will always just come with a certain model, like a person. So this is just inbuilt, it comes with it. Yeah. So as usual, you start by saving, you save your project, and SketchUp has an extension of .skp. So I'm going to save it here in desktop. Let me call it a practical demonstration. Now, when you saving, be keen about after here, which other person may open this model? Yes, most of the time it's going to be sharing drawings. Maybe you do architect, maybe you're sharing with a civil engineer or any other technical person, that team or any other stakeholder. So you need to understand which SketchUp are they using. If they are using a lower version, now I'm using 2019. If I create and I save a drawing in the format of 2019, the lower versions cannot open it unless I save it in the lower version. So that's why you see everything is .skp, but now it has years. Yeah, there's 18, 17, 16, 15, like that. So be so keen about that, because you share a drawing with someone and they can't open it. Yeah. So after that, just click on save. So now, yeah, and this is how it looks like. You could see that just that I added more tools here, but compared to other softwares, the way they look, maybe compared to AutoCAD or compare it to Revit, it is so simplistic. Like when you look at the interface, you can see that it doesn't, like, you don't need to, that's why the learning curve is not that steep. You can easily learn it. It depends on your creativity to create more complex drawings or designs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this and I delete it. Yeah, so if you've used the 3D modeling softwares or any construction drawing softwares, you know that when you left click on a mouse, then hold and move it, it can select something you want. Then after this, I can just press delete on my computer. That is deleted because we don't. So now you can see that we have the X, then Y, then the one up is Z. Yeah. So there are different viewing angles. I can come here to camera. SketchUp, take it like maybe you're a photographer and you need to model something. The first thing you need to do is to first take a photo. So even SketchUp is like that. Now take your mouse as maybe the camera. So you're going to realize that you're going to use your mouse to draw what you need to do. Then you go on and edit it later on. So that's every time you see camera, it's kind of like as you're taking or as you're making the drawing, how do you want to look at it? So there are different viewing angles in SketchUp, and that's where I find from camera. So if I say parallel projection, now everything it's going to draw. Okay, if you've done some construction drawing, there's a difference between parallel projection and perspective. Just that here we've not drawn anything. We're going to draw and you see the difference. Yeah, but those are switched from here, from camera. Then you can see different things. So we're going to go through the tools quickly. Then after we just model something small, then we open the models that have been created, because creating them, yeah, takes some time, which we may not be having right now, but you'll be able to understand what SketchuP Pro can do for you. So what I have on top is the same, is almost similar or the same as to what I have down here. That's why I told you it's not intimidating. Just imagine if I come and remove this, I'll be only left with these tools. And you realize that you have only few tools that are very important. Yeah. Now the first one is the select tool. So that one is used to select, is the one which is always active. Yeah. Then the next one is an eraser. So this one removes what you've drawn. Yeah, we're going to use it in the meantime. Then here we have a line tool. So this is the most used tool in SketchUp, drawing a line. You can see that everything you create, even if you see a very complex building, they're going to be a combination of very many lines just arranged according to dimensions. So it is the line tool that you need to understand a lot. So if I click here and I select line, then I can come and draw. How do you draw? You left click on the first point. Like I want my first point to be here. Then you move the cursor to the next point where I want it to be. So you can see that when I'm moving here, it's in black. But at a certain point, now it has changed to green. And I move like this, it has changed to blue. Then when I move this side, it has changed to red. What does that mean? That means is that the line I'm drawing is parallel to those axes. And that's what most of the times, that's what we need. We need to always draw things that are parallel to the axis, but not always, but most of the times, that's what you're going to be doing. Yeah. So in case I want to draw a line that is parallel to the y-axis, I'll draw like this. Then I can continue and draw another one that is parallel to the x-axis. Then I can draw another one that is again parallel to the y-axis, like that. Then I join. Yeah. So when I'm done, I can just press escape, or I click on this to have the select tool. Now you may say I've drawn everything, but now it's not looking like I've drawn everything parallel to the axis, but it's looking in a weird way. Why? Because we are in perspective. We put the camera in perspective projection. But if I put it back to parallel projection, you'll see that everything is aligned according to what you need. Now, there are more other tools. We've seen the line tool is very, very, very key. Yeah. Now, using a mouse, if you've ever used AutoCAD, you know that if you hold that scroll in the middle, you can zoom in and out. Yeah. Now, in case you want to move, in AutoCAD, it's like panning. I want to move all this towards, maybe I want this center to be like here. So there I have to press Shift, then I get that. You see that hand? I press Shift, then I long press the scroll button. I get that, then I move. So that's called panning, like I'm moving the entire like workspace. Yeah. You can also get it from here. Click on it, then start doing that. Yeah. So that is a line tool. Then now we have our arcs. Yes, so now these ones are also very important when you're doing maybe kind of complex architectural drawings now, like some balconies, you're doing some cladding. So that's where you can utilize arcs a lot. Yeah. So all you need to do is go and select that I need to draw an arc. So this one needs 3 points. Yeah, like that. Good enough. As you're drawing, you can be guided with this. Yeah, it's the one that guides you as you're drawing an arc. Yeah. So that is the arcs tool. Yeah, like I said, we cannot go through everything. Yeah, maybe if you enroll into the course, here I'm just going to demonstrate to you very few things. So, sorry. Then we have shapes, like instead of drawing a line, you may want to draw a rectangle directly. So you can just come here, select rectangle, then you draw that line. But this, you have to be keen about, you see we have 3 axes. If you see it in blue, it means that the rectangle has been drawn, but with within the z-axis, like here. Then if I get it and I draw it and I start moving down, it's mostly where you draw like here. Get it. Like that. So they are drawn in the z-axis, in going upwards towards the z-axis, like that. So you have to be keen when you drawing this. You have to be very keen about the axis. Yeah, there are more tricks on how to go about it, like dynamic X, Y, Z, UCS code, but we can't go into detail right now. Yeah, so that is drawing with already the shapes. Now, like a circle, something I would like to tell you about the circle. Now, there is no software that can draw, okay, like a perfect circle. Like what I'm trying to tell you is that a circle is not as curved as you think. It's just lines, but have points that are very close to each other. So you can see that when I try to zoom like that, you can see that it is a circle. But when I zoom in closer, you see it's like a polygon. Yeah, so all circles are polygons, just that it is made into very many polygons that can make a circle look smooth. When you have very many polygons, that's when you can get a smooth circle. Yeah, so that is a circle. Then let's continue with more. There is now, when you're drawing a real polygon, yeah. So as you're drawing this, there is down here, there is what they call, it's kind of like a command line. For example, if I'm drawing a circle and I'm drawing it, you can see that here, it gives me an option to type in the radius. So if I already know the radius of the circle, I can just click here, then I type that I need a circle of radius 15 meters and I press enter. Then it will be able to draw it. Yeah. So, yes, then another thing, as you're drawing, you may want to move around the way I'm doing this. For certain reasons, maybe you want to get closer to a certain object. That is called orbiting. So you press the scrolling button, you press it, then you start moving. Or you can come and get this orbit. Then when you get it, you can orbit around. Yeah. Once you mess up maybe with anything, you can just come back to camera, change it to like perspective, then you change it back to parallel projection. In case you've messed up with everything and want it to get back to normal. Yeah. So that's how you can draw different shapes. Now there are commands like for rectangle, you can just press R and you start drawing. For circle, you can just press C and you start drawing. Yeah. So now let me first remove some of the drawings. So the ones I've already covered, those are mostly drawing tools. They are mostly used to draw. Yeah, but right now we're going to look at those ones that are used to modify. Okay, let me only stay with this. All right, yeah. So now these ones are used to draw, the first ones. Now there are those ones that are used to modify. And the first one we're going to look at is called push stroke pull. Yeah, so push stroke pull, when you click on it, it pulls the face like that. Yeah, that's how it works. And most of the drawings are drawn by starting with this 3D, like rectangle. Yeah, you're going to see that even buildings, even what, most of the time they start from this. Yeah. And this push-pull command is also like the line drawing tool being used most of the times when you're creating. Then the push-pull command is kind of like the most used command as when it comes to modifications. You see that you'll have to use it a lot and a lot more. Yeah. Then after push-pull, then we have offset. So offset, like in AutoCAD, or even if you've never used AutoCAD, offset is like, I have a line, then I need another similar line, but when it is at a certain distance from the existing one. So I can offset this face inside. Yeah, that's how they call offset. You can offset the whole face, or you can just offset. For example, maybe I have a line. I've drawn this line, and I can offset it. Click on it. First select it and click offset. Then you type in the distance that you need to offset it far away from that. But most of the times, the offset command is used on faces in SketchUp. Yeah, so that's why you see this is a face. Like when I click here, this is highlighted, it is a face. When I click here, this is a face. And these modification tools, they work mostly on faces. That's why when you come to offset, and I select like offset from the edge, then I can offset inside by either typing in the distance. Now that small dotted line is what they call offset distance. that one. So you can either just move or you can type it from here. That the offset distance is just 1 meter, and you press enter. Then if you try to measure here, it will be 1 meter. And how do you do measuring? There is a tape measure tool inside. Just click on the start, then at the end. Then you can see that it is having 1 meter. So that's what I've typed in as the offset distance. Yeah, so yeah, those are some of the modification tools. Then we have move, that selects an object, then it starts moving it. So that one, you use it when you first select. Yeah, like when I'm selecting, you have to be very keen. Now I've selected everything, but I've left out this one. So you have to be very keen as you're doing the selection, so that this cube or the rectangle covers everything here. Yeah, so let's continue with the few more tools. Then I show you at the end what do you produce. Yeah, then we have rotate. Yeah, so this one rotates an object, yeah, from a certain angle. Now, like here, I'm rotating it around. And that is the rotate tool. Yeah, then we have scale. For scale, it will either increase or reduce. It will increase or reduce an object according to the factor that you're giving it. Yeah, so you can either do it manually or you can type in the factor. If you type the factor that is less than 1, then it will be reduced in size by that kind of percentage. If you type in a factor that is greater than 1, then it will be increased in size. Yeah, so those are most of the drawing tools, then modification tools. Now, you can wonder, you only showed us, and almost have showed you most of the tools. Then you can, how can you come up with the very beautiful like drawing or house using just these lines? Yeah, it is possible and it is being done. Now we're going to do just a very simple model or like a simple house, just the walls, and I show you that it is possible to create with a SketchUp Pro. What we're going to do, we're going to create, okay, we're going to use a rectangle tool. So I'm going to come here, a rectangle tool. Then I'm going to draw a rectangle. Yeah, I can type in the dimensions. How do I type in the dimensions? Let me first change this. Okay, let me draw the parallel projection. I can use shift, I move it closer. So I'm going to draw it around here. Okay, now we get the rectangle tool. Then I press just the first point. Then as I move, I need to type in the length and the width. So if I already know it, maybe the house is, let's just do just 1 room, but when it is a big room, when it's like 6 meters by 8. So you can just come here down and you type like 8 meters, 6, like that. 8, 6. Yeah, even if you don't include meters, because you already know that you're using meters. Yeah, so you can zoom in for it to be very close, or let's just try to use kind of dimensions. Let me increase on the dimensions. Okay, let me just draw this. Okay, 10 by 10. Let me just do that, just for demonstration. So now we have that. So we're going to use the push-pull, and we pull this up. Then we can type in the height. Maybe it is 3 meters only. So it's not yet a house. Yes, I can see that. Now we need to create a door. So for that door, okay, before you create a door, let's first create the walls. Now there are two ways of creating the walls. Either you can create two 3D objects and you delete in the inner part, or you can draw, then offset by the thickness of the wall, then you press pull. So let's use that one. I'm going to go back. I come to offset tool here. Then I'm going to offset, but I'm offsetting outside. I need to select this. Then I'm offsetting outside by what? The thickness of the wall is 230 millimeters. That is 0.23. So I'm going to type in 0.23. Yeah, so I have this. Yes, now I can use press pull command. Now you may see that this side is big. No, it's because of the camera. When I try to move it around, it is of the same thickness. So now I'm going to use the push pull command. This then I raise by how many meters? Let me put 3.5. Yeah. So now we have this. Yes, it is sketchy house, but this is just for the beginning. That's what you need to start with. Yeah, you can see when if I orbit around, yeah, it's hollow. So those are my walls. Now I need to create doors. And how? With those, I need to create like a rectangle, but when it is on a certain dimension. So most of the doors, like a single one, is 2.1 meter by 0.9. So that is the one I'm going to create. So either I can first draw a line, and I can first draw a line on a certain length so that I mark where the starting point is going to be. But rather, due to the interest of time, let's just draw it. We're not going to be so accurate to that. But know that in case you have dimensions already in your head, those are the ones that you should use. So I'm going to draw a line going up by 2.1. Yes, then I go this side by 0.9. Then I go down by 2.1. Yeah, and then I can cross it, or I can leave it. Yeah, then when you're done, you press escape. So how do you now make this hollow? Yeah, so you can see when I select this, this is the face now. Yeah, so I'm going to press pull it, but inside. I press pull it, but going inside, so that it creates a hole in between for the frame of that door. So I get press pull this, then I move it inside until you see that there is it will give you of, it's called on face, just that now this one is small, or until you see that light, because it is the same as inner light. But you can also, when you bring it in outside, it should like be extruding. But when you take it inside, because there is already something that has been existing, so it will make it will create a hole. So either I can just click there, or I can click to what extent. So I'll go and click on the back door, or like the back wall, because I need to pull it until it reaches this. Yeah, like that. Now when I try to pan around, you can see that I've created a hole for that door. Yeah, then we're just going to create a hole for that. We're going to create a hole for the window. Then after that, maybe we shall also try a roof. Then I show you already models that have been created. So now I need to create a roof, but no, I need to create a window. But we know that also windows are kind of raised to a certain height. Most of the times they are at level with the top door, like this. Most of the time the windows are here. Then they also have different dimensions accordingly. So maybe I'm just going to use like 2 by 2. It depends on the window that you have, but they are standard sizes for the window. So with this, what you can do, you can use the tape measure tool to create what they call a guide. So just click down, then press Ctrl to ensure that that plus symbol is there, that one on the edge. So press here, press Ctrl, then go up to, you see, 2.1. Yeah. So there it has created a guide. So it has drawn a guide so that when I'm creating my window, it's going to be like on the same level as the door. So with this one, you can draw a window by typing in your own size that you want. But now I'm just going to click. So once I'm done, you can get a eraser tool and you erase that guide. Then after this, we have this face, and you know what is next is the press pull. Let's pull it inside. Now press pull this up to click here like that, so that it doesn't extrude to the other side. So now we have, we have a door and a window just opening, the door and window opening. Then after that, now you can be wondering, how do you now create a roof? Everything is done with a line tool. So you can do a line tool like here. You draw something on a certain angle, but you need it to be like, so you can start with this. You can maybe know the middle point is here. Draw a line that is going a little bit up. So there you'll be having dimensions already that can give you that know the pitch angle of the roof. Then you'll be already knowing the height of this. So that's how you can create this. So this is a face that you can extrude to the other side. So you can use this, press pull. Or before you do that, you can even first create also this side. Now we have two faces. We have this one and this. Then you can even erase this one in the middle so that you have now one face. So now here you have to be keen as you select. Okay, there is no, we forgot to draw the one below. So let's just use two faces to extrude. So now I can select this and maybe use Ctrl and I select the second one. Then I can use press pull. Need to press pull this. So but you need to know the extent on which it is going to. Now we're done with that. You can do the same thing to this. Just you have to be keen when you're selecting the surface here. You don't see where you can. Okay, let me first select it. Press pull. Okay, let me first orbit it around. I think we made here some mistake here when we were drawing this. Can first delete it. There is a line. There is some line that has been, this one here is the one that has been causing it the problem. So now we can draw our tongue again. Here, and here. Then you have this face and you can press pull it. So you can continue more and more and more to do to model like house. So now we are just getting started. But you can already produce something. I know it is too sketchy, but this is how you start. Then now I'm going to show you what it produces, like where can you end in case you concentrate on using SketchUp Pro. Yeah. So there are some things that we've not gone through. There is here, there's what they call a default tray. So default tray will always have the entity information. Entity information is when you select something, click on this to give you information about what is selected. Now, let me just select one face. So it will give me what is the area, which layer is it on. Yeah, so even in SketchUp Pro, they are you can use layers like in AutoCAD. Yeah, so that is about entity information. Now there is what they call materials. So materials are used, for example, I want to apply materials to a certain, maybe this wall. I need to apply there certain materials. So that's when you come to materials, then you select the material that you want to apply, then you just drag and drop it there. So maybe these are bricks, you can drag and drop it here on the face. Okay, here it will need you to like, okay, select kind of like a model, not only the face. Let me just draw like a 3D box, and we apply some material to it. Okay. Okay, like that. So you see that bricks are applied there. You just click on this, then you get this bucket thing. So when you get it, just click on where you want to apply it. So you can see that bricks are applied. So now this is not perfect because like we've not given it time, but that's how it will look like. So maybe here, now I need things for the roof. I come back here and I say, I need roofing. Then I'm going to use tiles. You can even import images here. So you select, then apply it here. That your roof. Yeah, like that. So like I've told you, this is just to demonstrate to you. Due to the limited time, we cannot perfect everything. So you can add different materials to the field of your object. So that is materials. Then we have components. Yeah, so then we have scenes. Scenes is like maybe having one drawing now like here, but I want to look at it in 2D. Then I also I want to look at it in 3D, but from parallel projection, then 2D from perspective projection. So what I do, I create scenes. They are kind of like elevations. So when I create a scene, I press objects onto it. Now you can see this is scene 1. So I can add another scene. This is called scene 2. So when I come to scene 2, I can maybe change this to 2D, or maybe I can make it to face the other side. But when I go back to scene 1, for it, it is still moved like here. So scenes are created to look at the object from different like angles. Those are what they call scenes. Yeah. So that's a small hint about scenes. Yeah, and many more. You can add shadows to the ground. And what it means for shadows is that as you're drawing, you can say that I want to look at my house when it is morning. Because here we have time, then there's also date. You need to know the month because some months they have rainy season. So you can say, I want to look at it in the morning. Then you also have to select like which time, which UTC time. Now, like the one of East Africa or the one of Kampala is UTC plus 03. And this one. Then now you can say that I want to look at it when it is maybe at night. Yeah. So here we've not added a lot of things that can make you realize a big change. Maybe we shall demonstrate it in the demos that I'm going to show you. You can even use sun for shading. So if you put that this is evening, then it will try to put the sun on the side. Most of the times, this will take that the sun is moving from east to west along the x-axis, unless you use some extension which is called north. It's called polar north, which can be able to determine the north and it puts the direct sunlight. So if you put that it is evening, then you try to show you the shadows of the sun, like the sun is trying to light onto your object, and this is how it's going to look like. So the way it looks like in the morning, the shadow will be different compared to the afternoon, then compared to the evening. Yeah, so that's where we use shadows. Yeah, fog, everything. SketchUp Pro can help you view very many things. Now, we're going to look at the views just slowly. Like here, I can come to scene 2 and I say I only want to look at this elevation. So when I come back to scene 1, is seeing this normal model, but when I'm in scene 2, yeah, here you need to first save it, but I just wanted to show you that the scenes are used to create different views. Yeah, for further, maybe you explain to the client. That's why I use the scenes. Yes, so now we have very many other things. There's what they call 3D warehouse. Now, 3D warehouse is like a collection of things that have been modeled in SketchUp Pro. For example, you may find a model of trees. Someone sat down and they created trees. So instead of wasting time to model a tree, just go and get it from 3D warehouse, download it, then you insert it into your drawing. Now I'm going to show you here on our web browser. Can you see this? Can you see the web browser that has 3D warehouse?
Yes.
Okay. So you only need to visit 3dwarehouse.sketchup.com. Then you type in for what you're looking for. So now you can see that here there is shoes, anything. Now I can say that I'm looking for trees. Now press enter. So they're going to bring for me different models of trees. So these ones can be picked, they can be downloaded and picked and put them there. So now you can see that as you're downloading, you need to be signed in. So the browser I'm using, I'm not signed in, but what you have to be keen is that while you're downloading, it's going to bring for you, is it SketchUp 2019, is it 2020, is it 2021? So download for your exact model. Now I'm using 2019. If you download for 2021, you're not going to be able to modify it. Yeah, but that is 3D warehouse. People that are using SketchUp Pro, they sit down and they create things that can be copied and pasted. Like we don't need to repeat ourselves with this. So they create them, you too can create and upload. So that they are spread out freely. So that you save on time as you are modeling. Yeah. So even if I say house, I'll get different houses. Yeah, though there I need to be keen in like which category. So I may say I need in architecture, and I type in house. So that's why it's going to bring the like houses. So that is called 3D warehouse. So let's go back to SketchUp. You access it from this button. Now there is also 3D extension warehouse. So this one gets extensions. Yeah, so there are extensions that only do shadows. There are extensions that help you to do, like there are extensions that are built to do certain things. So that's where you go to the 3D extension warehouse. Yeah, so yes, we have very many more things, setting up lights, doing what. Yeah, but we can't go into them like in details here, unless you like you've enrolled into the course, that's when you can be able to understand more. So right now, I'm going to open some 3D models that have been already created in SketchUp Pro. Then we try to do rendering and you compare. And I'm also going to show you V-Ray. How do you use V-Ray? Yeah, just sitting a little bit about it. Then we shall go into yeah, so now I'm going to open, let me first open the first model. So if you draw something, when you draw something and it is maybe a very big house, so it depends on how powerful your computer is in order for you to do these models or renders. So you see this, it kind of looks like it is hard to do, but according to what I've already showed you, you can see that these are just lines and these are materials that have been applied onto the different surfaces. So you too can create this. It's not hard to create. Yeah, the trees and what they were just brought in, you can see that they are separate objects which can be moved to another destination. Now, this is a 3D model. So how do you get a 3D render? Like that nice looking photo that most people show. Yes, this is how you get it. Yeah, you need an extension that does so. And this time, in this case, we are using V-Ray. So you have to first install it on the computer. So mine is already there installed. So when I come to the extensions tab, I can see that I have V-Ray. Means that I can have more extensions down here, but I'm only using V-Ray. Then it has different parts. There's asset editor, there's V-Ray rendering, there's V-Ray writes, there's V-Ray objects, very many of them. Now, before we go to V-Ray, can you see this? It's kind of like showing there is sun from certain direction and it is hitting on this. So when you go to shadows and you change to a different day, to a different time of that day, are you seeing the lights being, are you seeing everything changing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, so that's how we use shadows. I didn't demonstrate because the other one couldn't show very well. Even when you change a month, it will know that in January, in East Africa, now here we have to first change to East Africa back. Yeah, that one. Then you change to different month and also the different time. So back here. Okay, I think it's just still loading. Okay, these are kind of heavy. The objects are a little bit heavy, so you have to be keen with the computer you're using. Let me load another one that we're going to use. Okay, let me first close this. Load it. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do rendering for this, and we see how it comes up. Now we see when I'm zooming in, kind of gets black, then it gets back. Why? Because it's heavy, the computer processes. And right now I'm opening very many applications. We are live streaming. So that's why I was saying and even SketchuP Pro doesn't require a very strong machine, but now the other softwares require a very strong computer in order for you to use them. So I'm going to go to extensions, V-Ray, then I go to asset editor. Now, asset editor is where I get different settings that dictate how should I make a render. Because we already have a 3D, but now we need to produce a 2D image that is looking very impressive. Yeah, so this is the asset editor. It has different settings. We're not going to go so much into them this limited time, but these are materials. Then down here we have lights. You can set lights. Which color of lights do you want to have? Yeah. Then you can also have lights separately here. Then this is about planes. How do you want them to look like? This is about layers, mostly interested in settings. So here, you need to select, is it going to render using a CPU or GPU? It depends on the computer, whether the computer has a graphics processing unit. So if you put it to GPU, most times it will take shorter period of time because the graphics processing unit is powerful than the CPU when it comes to this kind of work. Then you can select the quality, whether I want medium. If you say high quality now, very high quality, or high or medium. Now when you say very high, it's going to look very nice, but it's going to take too long. Sometimes renders can even take 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours, sometimes the whole night. Depends on what you render and how powerful your computer is. So if you're just doing something faster to see how it looks like, then just use medium quality. Then when you feel like, yeah, this is what I want now, when you are exporting to send to a client or to save for your own benefit, that's when you go with the very high quality. Very high quality will be a photo that is very heavy, but with looking nice and very like details. Yeah, then we have more settings when it comes to camera. How do you want it to be? We're not going to go so much into that. The render output. Here is where you set the dimension of the image. Remember, we're creating a 2D image from this. So how do you want it to be? So this is width and height. And then it also depends on the aspect ratio. So most time we shall be using widescreen, but you can also use square or 4:3, 5:4. So let me leave it wide. Then you can even decide to save an image to a certain destination. By clicking on this, then you select the path, the path where the photo will be saved. Yeah, and it will be over either PNG or any other type. So I'm going to leave it to PNG. There are more and more other tools settings that you can do. Then after that, just click on this icon here. It's the render icon. So it will create it will open what they call a V-Ray frame buffer. So a V-Ray frame buffer is what shows the output of your render. So you can see right now it's loading. So that is a computer intensive process, like it is rendering. So you can see that when you compare the output here, this one is looking better than what is here, but it is taking some time to recreate. When I zoom in, you can see that the pixels are covering up slowly. That's it is improving after some time. It's improving after some time. It's improving after some time. So the time it takes for you to render. So this is called rendering, and you can just click here to save and you save that photo. Right now I'm running very many things, so the computer is bringing an error. It's a warning. It can compromise. The more time it takes, it's looking more better. You can see like that. So that's how you create a render. So when you compare this to this, pardon?
The rendered picture.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to stop rendering so that I don't consume a lot of resources. Yeah, but that's how you render. So let me first close this. We open just one more demonstration. Okay. Yeah, so SketchUp gives you the authority or the morale to create anything you're thinking about. You can create. Now you can see this model has different scenes. I've seen one that is looking at the front, then you have scene 2, and you have scene 3. So then there is another one when the roof was not there. That's how it looks like. Then there's this. Yeah. So I'm just going to render scene 1 and we have a look at it. Okay, let me look for one that is okay. This I'm going to render scene 2. So I go back to extension, V-Ray asset editor. This time around, I'm not going to do a lot of modifications. I'm just going to click on render. I'm just going to go with that. default setting. Now here, when you're rendering, there are different options. There's rendering on the computer, then there's rendering in the cloud, then there's also export view, scene file. Now, rendering on the computer to be using the computer resources. Now, if I render in the cloud, that is when you visit the pricing of SketchUp, they will show you the storage that they give you with the cloud. So you can use, it's called Chaos Cloud from the company that creates V-Ray extension. So there you pay money so that even if your computer is slow, you can just click on render. As long as you have strong internet connection, it is rendered on the other servers of the cloud. Then they send you the output. So with that one, you're not straining your computational resources with your computer. But now I'm going to use my computer. So I click on that. It takes some time compared to how many applications you're running, how strong the computer is, the pixels of the photo builds slowly. And also it depends because it is 800 by 400 activity, so that it can finish fast applications. If I put it to be like 1080 by 720, you already see that it's looking SketchUp here. Let me stop that. Use creates this. For the cards, you don't need to create, then you come and press it there like that. So yeah, that is it for that demo. Right now, we're going to go into Q&A session to get your questions. Then we shall then receive communication from Madam Manjari. Thank you. So, any questions?
Thank you, Mansoor, for this wonderful presentation. We are here to answer all the questions. If somebody has any question, you can ask your queries.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Kenneth.
Sorry, I had a question about this SketchUp. For beginners, would you say it's is it kind of tough to learn for beginners?
Mansoor, please answer. You are the technical one.
Compared to other softwares, no, it's easy. It's easier compared to other softwares that do the same thing. Now, like Lumion, 3ds Max, well, those ones are a little bit complicated compared to this. This one is easier to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope, Mr. Kenneth, you got your answer. And I would like to inform everybody that we are offering an interior designing course, which is made up of 3 softwares, main softwares, that is 3ds Max, V-Ray, and SketchUp. Already Sheba is here and Sheba is enrolled in that particular software, in a particular course. And SketchUp is not as much as complicated, and as per my knowledge, where that 3ds Max requires that all the details. So if you would like to start, you can start with SketchUp. Anybody else has any question? Sheba, you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah, Sheba, this is Anjali, head of CAD Center. Hope this session was useful for you. And
yes, it is.
We are about to start our classes from tomorrow. These are only for Sundays, 9 to 12. If anybody would like to join, please continue with these sessions and contact us. My name is Anjali. My phone number is 0700-852-190. Already CAD Center's number are here with Mansoor. So you can check out these numbers, please. And the mail ID is also there. CAD Center team will help you a lot. Please ask any other question. Shweta, you are there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
It was useful for you?
Yeah, it is useful. And I want to ask, tomorrow it is online class or it is offline class? If I want to come there.
you want to come, you can come, but means like we are about to, we can check out. Both modes are available for these classes.
Okay, ma'am. And 9 to 12.
9 to 12 Sunday. Every Sunday it's there.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Mr. Kenneth, you would like to come, then you can visit us at Uma Showgrounds.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Keith, you want to ask any question? You have any question? Kindly ask.
Okay. I have no questions though.
Okay, fine. So thank
and
you.
Anjali,
Yes, please, Shiba.
just one question. You were saying that class for interior design, the proficient course is from 9 to 12 on Sundays.
This is
I
for
just
SketchUp
wanted
only.
for SketchUp
Shiva.
only.
Yeah, as the proficient in interior design and architecture course has 3 softwares, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we are starting up with the SketchUp, then we'll move to the 3ds Max and
To
V-Ray.
the, okay.
Okay. Hope this
Okay,
is
thank
okay
you.
for you.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yeah. Shweta, this is for your knowledge as well, as you would like, you were interested in the complete course, right?
Yes, ma'am. Even I am also interested in AutoCAD, ma'am. It is there also AutoCAD.
Yes, AutoCAD is also there, Shweta. So you can join that class as well. AutoCAD timing is 8 to 10 a.m. Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mansoor, for a wonderful session. If you guys need the recording of this session, we will share this recording with all of you. Is it okay?
Yeah, it is very
Yes,
okay.
thank you.
Kindly
Thank you.
share your email IDs in the chat box so that we can share all the recordings over there.
All right.
With your phone number, your email ID, and your full name.
Okay.
Okay. Please
Yep.
write in the chat box.
Yep.
Okay.
In the meanwhile, anybody has any question, please let me know.
Anjali,
Yes, please, Shiva.
just to confirm, because before in the schedules, the classes were from 2 to 4. So the Monday to Friday classes,
These are for
is that
3ds Max.
time?
This is for the 3ds Max.
The Monday to Friday classes, is the time also
Monday,
changing?
Wednesday, Friday.
Mm,
These are alternative classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Shiva.
yes.
And if you want to start with SketchUp, like one by one, we can do this as well. First, you can start with SketchUp. Like whenever you are comfortable with this, then we can go with the 3ds Max, the next schedule.
Okay.
Module 1 is that. Module 2 is 3ds Max, then V-Ray.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. I hope I received Mr. Kenneth.
Yes.
Miss Keith. Okay. Shweta, kindly share your email ID as well. We have Sheba's email ID with us. Still, Sheba, you can share your email ID here.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice weekend to all of you. And Sheba, if you are coming tomorrow, kindly confirm me. I will be there. Mansoor, I will be there.